We've got 70 participants here, so I think we can get started. So hi, everybody. My name is Tom Bechkahazi, and I'm one of the new TEFL advisors for this year. I'm still in the States, but hopefully we'll be joining those of you who are already in Taiwan very soon. And for those of you who are still here in the States like me, I hope that you have your flights coming up soon and we're all able to get over there in the next week or so. So today we're going to be talking about effective online teaching. We're going to break the next 2 hours into 2 parts. For the first hour, from now until about 20 past the next hour, we're going to be watching a video, and the video is chunked into 3 sections. In the first section, you'll see me talking about some online tools that are maybe better suited for older ages, or at least ages 9 and 10 and above. In the second part of the video, you'll see one of my colleagues, Celine, talking about more analog approaches using props and realia, maybe something that's better for younger learners. And then finally, my colleague Sean will talk about best practices when it comes to online teaching and share some helpful resources. So what we would like everybody to do is watch that video. It's, let's see, it's 48 minutes long. So I'm gonna put the link here in the chat. There you go. It's a YouTube link. It should work. If it doesn't, please let me know and I can change the settings on the video, but it should work. So go ahead and watch that video and just think about your teaching contexts, right? What ages are you going to be teaching? Who are you going to be teaching with? Are you going to be teaching CLIL or not? Just watch the video, think about what we discuss, think about the different resources we share. And then when you come back, okay, so you don't have to stay here. You can log off Zoom and watch the video. When you come back, we'll start again at 30 past the next hour. For me, it's 6:30. So we're going to start again at 7:30. So whatever time it is for you now, we'll start again in about an hour. And we're going to reference the video. So if you want to take notes, that's fine. But really what we're going to be doing also is working in breakout rooms, and you will be discussing the video and also just what it means to be an effective online teacher and what it means to plan an effective online lesson. So that's really the meta goal here. So keep hearing those words in your brain. Effective online teaching. What does it mean? What does it look like? And at this point, I'm sure a lot of you have been taking online classes in one form or another over the last couple of years. So apply those experiences to what you hear us talking about in the video. And then when we come back in an hour, I'll go over next steps. So really the only thing you have to do right now is just watch the video. Oh yeah, and you can see what Kevin put in the chat. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in the future. So this is really just something in case we do online teaching or there's, you know, for some reason you have to teach online. So yeah, go ahead and click on the link, watch the video. I will see everybody back here in 55 minutes. We'll start at 30 past the next hour. So thanks everyone. Enjoy the video, and yeah, I'll share the link one more time. Absolutely. There you go. You're welcome. So I will see everybody in 55 minutes. Enjoy. You can stay on here if you want, but it's probably going to slow down your connection. So you can go watch the video and come back. 55 minutes. Lily, did you raise your hand? Do you have a question? Maybe it was just an accidental press.
Are we in breakout rooms right now?
Okay, it's 30 past the hour. Looks like we have a couple folks joining us here. We'll give them 30 seconds. Okay. All right, I think we can begin. So welcome back, everyone. I'm just gonna look through at your faces. I don't see anybody crying. So that's a good sign, although that's the bar we're setting for ourselves. That's a pretty low bar. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Two of the three speakers in that video are here, so just nod and smile and say hi. And if you were bored to tears, I don't think we'll be offended. At least I won't. You got to watch out for Sean. So anyways, I'm going to share my screen here, and we are going to jump right into the next activity. And again, while we're doing this, if you have any questions, just feel free to. There's so many of you. I, of course, can't see everyone at once, so you can just unmute your mic and say, hey, or just put your question in the chat. Because if you do the little hand raising thing, I can't see it because I can only see 3 people right now. So, all right, so here we go. I like anagrams, so I don't know if anybody can figure this out. It's kind of obvious. You can just throw your answer in the chat. Can I see the chat? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Who was the first one? Jackson. Jackson, you champion. Okay, excellent. All right. So yeah, there we go. There's another one. They don't really make any sense, but really what we're seeing here is effective online teaching. And you can see this little, I don't know, fine print here in the bottom. The beautiful thing about Jamboard is this. You can minimize and maximize text boxes so readily, so easily. And so what I like to do is just let everybody know what the objective is. This is the same thing we do with our lesson plans, right? So instead of SWBAT, I'm gonna say participants. So participants will be able to determine what constitutes an effective online lesson by discussing and deconstructing this workshop right now. We're in it and reflecting on their own teaching contexts. And we're gonna minimize that again. Okay, so I'm just kind of leave it there. So you just spent 48 minutes watching a video that focused on 3 different things. This is a really, really open-ended question, but thoughts, feedback, put them in the chat, please. One takeaway, one thing that surprised you, one thing you already knew. Maybe you noticed that my hair was shorter in that video. Just something, anything, observations. What does effective online teaching mean? Okay, interesting use of props, all right. Those props go to Celine. Interactive, praise words chart, lots of good game suggestions, all right. Yeah, props are key. And of course, not just online, but in general. Staying flexible, absolutely. Okay, all right, cool. So this is what we're gonna do. As you can see here, I'll enlarge this again. I'll make this bigger. What we're gonna do right now is group work. So I'm only gonna talk for a little bit more and then I'm gonna put you into groups. And I don't know if you've had a chance to meet each other yet, but you're going to now. And so I will explain what you need to do first. And I'm trying to be a little bit meta with everything right now. So I want you guys to be aware of what I am or am not telling you to do and how I'm doing it. Okay. Am I leaving things out? Am I saying too much? Am I talking too much? Am I not talking enough? Do you need more instructions? Do you need fewer instructions? Do you need written instructions instead of oral instructions, and so on? So just be thinking about all of these things as we talk about effective online teaching. And remember, effective online teaching, we can just cut this word out, online. It's just effective teaching. The same principles apply. Okay, so here we go. A little UX for all of you. I am going to demonstrate this, and then you guys are all going to copy me. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing here, and you'll follow along. So actually, you know what? This is what I'll do first. I'll do this one first. Okay. I'm going to go to share. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Actually, I'm going to do this first. That's why I arranged it this way. So yeah, let me go back here. So I'm going to go to make a copy, and I'll just copy it here and do OK. And it's going to take a couple of seconds because I have a lot of images in here, but there we go. Okay, so those steps I just took right there, I'm going to need you to do that in just a second. But first, I need to share the link with you. And I'm going to do that. And then you guys are also going to do this. I'm going to change that to anyone with a link. And I'm going to change this to editor, just so that anybody has access to it. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go into the Zoom chat and paste it for everyone to see. There it is. Okay. So now you have access to it through the Zoom chat. So you can see everything that I see. So if you go to the fourth frame, the fourth slide, whatever you want to call it, the fourth board, you're going to see instructions on how to make a copy. And please do that. Because if you make any changes on this current iteration, all 97 of you are going to see those changes being made. So it's very, very easy. You just go to the three little dots here, click on that, click on make a copy, and then click OK. And again, those instructions are on the fourth board. Okay, there are too many people currently viewing this file. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to send this one, the original one, out to everybody too. Because I think only a maximum of 50 people can access Jamboards. So anyone on internet can link, can edit, copy link. Wait, let me just make sure. Yeah, editor. Okay. So here's another link for you guys. There you go. If you're already in the copy, you don't have to click on that link. Let me know if you still get that pop up.
I think I can trace it back.
Oh, is it working? Oh, I don't know if that's my connection or somebody else's, but.
I wasn't so happy in New York. I was really happy in Prague, and then all of a sudden.
Someone has to mute.
To the theme of Twin Peaks.
Or we have like cross signal somewhere. Okay, so can everybody get in now? Is anyone still getting that too many people viewing the file? No worries, no worries. Okay, I don't see any messages saying people are viewing the file. Okay, cool. All right, so again, please make a copy. That should relieve whatever stress there is on this current iteration. And you can see here, like there's only 13 people in here now. So, and the numbers are going down as people make copies and close this one. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go, you can follow along on the Zoom screen for now. I'm gonna stop talking pretty soon here. Okay. So you can look on slide 6 or board 6, I guess, or you can just look on the Zoom screen. But here is a quote from an old piece of text. So just in case you can't, for some reason, see this, I will read it aloud. Here we go. The ship in which Theseus and the young men of Athens returned had 30 oars and was preserved by the Athenians until the time of Demetrius of Phaleris. For they removed the old planks as they decayed and put in their place new and stronger timbers, so that this ship became a permanent example among the philosophers for the logical question of growing things. One side held that the ship remained the same, and the other held that it was not the same. So if anyone's ever taken a philosophy course, they probably recognize this thought problem. All I want everyone to focus on is this last piece of text here that I've highlighted, and actually can move around like that. So you have this ship, and as the ship decayed over time, people started replacing the wood that made up the ship. And after many, many years, every piece of wood in the ship had been replaced. So the question is it the same ship? Some people say yes, some people say no. So this is what you are going to talk about in your groups. You're going to, once you're in your breakout rooms, one of you is going to share your screen, okay? And you can just choose a group captain, something like that. And the person who's sharing their screen, they are also going to share their iteration of Jamboard. So those instructions are on board 5. So for example, I'm the captain of this group. I'm going to go to screen 5. I'm going to read these instructions. I'm going to go to share. I'm going to make sure that the link is set to anyone with the link, that this is set to editor, and then I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to put it in the chat, and then my group members are going to join my copy of Jamboard. So the groups should only have about 5 or 6 people in them, so they won't get overwhelmed. So that's what the captain is going to do. Then, because everybody can access Jamboard at the same time, you will take a sticky note, write your name on it, and put it over which answer you think is correct. If you think it was the same ship, you put it there. If you think it was a different ship, you put it there. And then you go to the next page, right? And again, the navigation tool is up here on the top. And you're going to open up a text box like so, and you're going to say it was the same ship because, and then you're going to write why. And what I would like for everybody to do in the groups is try and convince each other that they are the correct ones. So if you think it was the same ship and somebody else disagrees with you, try and explain why you are correct and why they are incorrect. Do so civilly, please. And then keep going through the boards. So here's another question. What do you think? Do the same thing with the sticky notes. Do the same thing with the text boxes, discuss. And then finally on board 12, if you go too far, you're going to see this. So on board 12, take a moment to discuss with your group members the answers to these questions. And please write your answers to the questions on sticky notes and post them around there. If you do still have leftover time, you can see I have some small type here. You can make that a little bit bigger and just read that, but I'll leave that up to you guys. And then you can keep going. Okay. But really what I want you to focus on is the discussion around this question, and these questions. So before we put you into rooms, any general questions? I'm getting an internet connection is unstable notification. So hopefully you could hear most of that. If you do have any questions, you can always ask for help through Zoom. You can come back into the main room, but we are going to leave everybody to your own devices. So I'm going to stop sharing now. Double check the chat here. All right, so then if we can please make breakout rooms and set the timer for, let's do 20 minutes. You know what, let's do 25 minutes. So please set the timer, the breakout room timer for 25 minutes, and then 5 people per room. And I think we're good to go. Give us just a second. Oh, there we go. Just want to check in real quick, make sure everybody's okay getting into the breakout rooms. If anyone's left over, just let us know and we'll try and get you into one of the groups. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Seeing you all stream in here. Okay. Maybe just another few seconds here. Okay, we may have lost a couple of folks. That's fine. All right. So we don't have that many minutes left. We have maybe about maybe 10 minutes left, actually 8 minutes. So I'm just going to choose a random person. I'm looking at the gallery view on Zoom, and I'm just going to choose a random person and ask you to share what your group discussed here. Let me share my screen. Oh, and now I lost the gallery view. Hold on just a second. Okay. So I'm curious about this question. What skills did you have to use for the tasks, and about everything you did on your own and with your group? Let's go with Jake Rudvitz.
So I wasn't the captain, but do you want me to answer with what we wrote?
Yes, please. Just that first question.
Okay. We learned how to write concisely and discuss these questions as a group. And more importantly, we learned how to use Jamboard and the sticky notes tool.
Okay. Okay. And of course, you spoke and you listened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you did listening, you did speaking, you did reading, you did writing, and you did a lot of tech stuff. Okay, cool. Thank you. And Jake, how do you pronounce your last name?
Rudvitz.
Rudvitz. Okay, awesome. All right, thank you, Jake. Okay, next question. What would you change about the tasks for your teaching context? Okay, so let's see. Emma Tam. So, what would you change about the tasks for your teaching context? And you can type your answer in the chat, or did you already do it? You got some support there from Shoshana.
Hi. Sorry. What would you change about the task for your teaching context? I don't know what I would change about it. I thought it was a good way to like start discussions with your group, and maybe one thing I would put the question or like the quote on the actual screen, so we don't have to keep on like going back and forth when we're deciding on or when we're writing our explanation.
Okay, very practical. All right, good. Thank you. All right, what are some challenges you foresee with using a tool like Jamboard? How could you overcome these challenges? Let's go. I'm going to pick on the people who don't have their cameras on. Ethan Ohm.
Well, I feel so I've used Jamboard before, and I think for like creative purposes, so if you were to like, I feel like a common activity that I've done in online learning is like making a zine or like doing collages. It has a lot of limited capabilities in regards to that, but like for collaboration on just putting ideas and opinions down, I think it works very well. And I think, yeah, there are definitely other platforms you could use for that. Like I think Google Slides has a lot more creative capabilities, even though it's just like PowerPoint basically, but.
Yes, Ethan, I wish I could, I don't know, frame your answer and put it up on my wall. That was beautiful. And you mentioned something really, really important. Google Slides is way more robust, but the beautiful thing about Jamboard is that it limits options. It doesn't overwhelm users. There's very little cognitive overhead. So it's just something to keep in mind. I mean, I'm a Google Slides evangelist through and through. But when you're right, when it comes to collaboration and just quick, easy stuff, I think very, very few things beat Jamboard. Excellent. All right. I just kind of talked about that, so we're going to skip that one. Finally, how did my directions or lack thereof affect your understanding of the task? What, if anything, would you have done differently? Let's see here. Okay. Alexia Sales.
I think we had a bit of trouble mostly just with time management because we as a group did not personally get to this question, but we think that it will be good to maybe have, instead of the big instructions at the top, maybe smaller sticky notes on the side so students have an idea of here's where your answers can go. Just something that's a more visual guide so they have a better idea. And from there, they can probably figure out where they can move on their own to make it more personalized.
Perfect. Yeah. Visual communication is key. And it's not just when it comes down to online things like this, worksheets that you give your students. Think about how the worksheet is formatted, right? A badly formatted worksheet is a nightmare. And then you have to spend so much time and energy explaining something. Absolutely. I could have done a lot more to organize things, right? So we're almost out of time. All I want to do is go through. So everybody has a copy of this now, right? So if you are curious about what else you can do with Jamboard, you can just go through here. And there's just a couple of examples. And a lot of these things are things that I would do in person in class, right? Cut out pictures from magazines and have students stick them up. So you can do the same thing with Jamboard, something like this. And again, you can adjust this based on your context. But if you have the ability to project something on the board, you can have students circle things with markers on the whiteboard. Again, annotating images, doing stuff like this. And again, I mean, these two categories can be anything you want. And you'll notice that the background here is static. That's because I set it. So that's another cool thing about Jamboard, right? I can't do anything here, but I can move these around, right? And finally, you can do polls where you have everybody join, and, you know, who wants to play musical chairs? Maybe all 4 of the Beatles do. All right. If you have any more curiosity, I recommend using this link here. It's fantastic. A lot of the ideas I shared are from here. But most importantly, just play with Google Jamboard. It's an excellent tool. So just, you know, you had a glimpse of what it can do today. Don't be afraid to get in there and get your hands dirty and think about how all of these things encourage listening and speaking and reading and writing, all of that stuff. Okay, so I can stick around and answer anybody's questions if they have them, but otherwise I think it's 20 past, so I think we're out of time. But if you have any questions or comments or feedback, please feel free to stick around and chat. Otherwise, I'll see everybody at some point, somewhere, somehow, especially the central region folks. I recognize a couple of your names in here, so thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Be well.
Thank you.
Safe travels if you're flying out. Enjoy your quarantine if you're already there. Thank you, everyone.